Okay.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's the third part of a series on Instagram that Sue B. Zimmerman is doing for us. I'm Jim Danhauser. I'm a volunteer with the Cape Cod Islands chapter of SCORE. Most of you are on the prior call, so I'm not going to go through a long introduction. Just remember that for the next two sessions, you also need to separately register if you want to attend. I'll include those links in the email that I will send out with a copy of the recording. And yes, so you don't have to ask, everybody who registered will get a copy of the recording link so you can look at this session at your convenience. In terms of rules, very simple. If you have any questions, put them in the Q&A. Easier for me to follow just the one as opposed to having to toggle back and forth between that and the chat. Webinar is being recorded. As I said, everybody get a link to that recording once it's available. We're lucky today to have Sue B. Zimmerman with us. She's a serial entrepreneur, a frequent lecturer, and leading light on the use of Instagram for small businesses. So Sue B., we're very glad that you're with us. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here again. And even though it's 8 o'clock in the morning here in California, I'm up for this because I really want to teach you guys what we're going to be focusing on today. I want to remind all of you that, Instagram is this village. There's 2 billion monthly active users, but the most important thing about this village is that there are neighborhoods. There are areas on Instagram, each have their own way of showing, like sharing content and engaging in that content. And we've already talked about creating a boss bio in the first session. Last week, we talked about your feed, your evergreen content, your posts, which consist of carousels, photos, and videos. And today we're going to focus on stories and Instagram stories, which actually is my favorite neighborhood. And I'll share the reasons why it's my favorite neighborhood throughout this presentation. But it really is a place where you can share and show a lot of the behind the scenes and what makes you different than everyone else that does what you do. So these are the three things that we're going to focus on today. Real quick, Jim gave me that intro, but yes, I've been speaking on stages all over the world, from Cebu in the Philippines, Mexico, Bahamas, international speaking, here in the US. I love speaking. I love teaching. It doesn't matter if the stage has hundreds of people or it's an intimate setting in person where I do my masterminds in La Jolla and on Cape Cod, or here in a virtual training. I think the more that people can hear and see and connect with you, the more opportunities that you have. And I want you to hear that because many of you work from home, right? Let me know in the chat. And many of you just isolate yourselves. And I really believe that when you get out, when you walk, when you go to coffee shops, when you're in line, when you're just maybe at the airport, there is a stranger sitting next to you or near you. And if you just simply smile and start a conversation, it can lead to opportunities. And often those opportunities can lead to what I like to call cash or conversions. If you aren't talking to people and telling people why you do what you do and why you wake up every day doing what you do with passion, heart, and enthusiasm, it's really hard to move the needle in your business and to get opportunities to happen, especially today where, the online space, the Instagram space is crowded. I want to just get everyone's eyes on the slide. I love that you guys give me feedback from each presentation. I want to do a little recap of some takeaways that people had. We talked about highlights as an option for different target audiences. I'm going to go into that today. Irene shared that she loved learning about collecting testimonials. For those of you that are not getting testimonials, either videos or written words or screenshots on Instagram, I strongly suggest that you make that a commitment and a priority, because when other people talk about you and what you do and the results that they get, you have more opportunity. Elisa said that the highlights were new to her, and she's excited that you can categorize. They literally are like tabs on a website. And Dan really loved that text expander hack that I taught you guys. So I'm glad. And Carla said that she just loved understanding that you need to have a call to action on everything that you're doing. It is not anyone's job to figure out what you want them to do. It is your job to tell them in a way that's not bossy or salesy, but in a way that serves them and supports them, right? So, like I said, Instagram is a village. We're going to focus on stories. Every aspect, every neighborhood on Instagram varies, and varies in the ways that they are accessed on Instagram and the type of content that's organic to that neighborhood, the format and the way you say what you do, so that people will engage and have conversations with you. And for those of you that are new here, there are 4 neighborhoods. Here's the visual. I like a good visual. I'm definitely a person that needs to see the visual. And the part that I love so much about Instagram as a village and each one of these 4 neighborhoods is that they all converge at the rotary called the DM, the direct message feature, the feature where you can go deeper in being curious, not deeper in selling, not with an agenda that you have, but to lean into curiosity and find out why someone left the comment that they did, why someone, was tagged on your post, and you're checking out who they are, and you see that there's this beautiful opportunity. Now, today in Instagram stories, I am going to talk about tagging, and I am going to talk about opportunities that are exciting. I'm going to share my phone after I go through this presentation. I'm actually going to use Score as an example of how to use Instagram stories correctly. I just want to quickly say hi to Tony and Sandra and Colleen. It's so great that you were on the training I did yesterday, and Nancy's here and Audrey. I love it. So we've got people here, over 30 people here ready and excited to learn. So I'm going to get into it. All I want from you is just to ask questions that come up. No question is ever a dumb question. Chances are, if you have a question, someone else has that same question. So these neighborhoods on Instagram, like I said, really do matter, because each one of them is a place that you can have conversations and start those conversations differently. Today, we're focusing on Instagram stories. So get your eyes on this slide. Yes, I love hats. Usually I'm wearing a hat. Hats are my jam. But an Instagram story is a feature on Instagram where you can share photos and videos that disappear in 24 hours. And your followers can find and see those Instagram clips. I call stories clips because each one is a tap, it's a clip. And they can see it from your profile and on the stories feed on your homepage. So, in the chat, let me know, do you notice when you're on your homepage, you'll see people that you are following that have an active Instagram story? It's an active Instagram story, one that you have not yet seen, because it has a rainbow ring around it. So you'll see in this visual that Beth has a gray ring around it. It means I watched all of her stories. But Eliza and Samantha, I haven't tapped in to see their story. So whenever a new clip is added to an Instagram story, you, the user, see it with a rainbow ring around it. So if you're following someone that you admire and respect and want to stay in touch with, tapping through their stories and also commenting on their stories, engaging on their stories is a great practice, especially if it's someone who could potentially be a collaborator, a client, or a customer. And interactions from Instagram stories start direct message conversations. And that is the goal. Remember that there's a person behind every single avatar, and this person has desires and wants and needs, and they're on Instagram either for education, information, to be entertained, or to have you as a resource. And so you want to be that person that they see and they connect with. And how do you connect with someone? Well, the connection is all with the energy that you give off. And often this can happen in your stories. So I'm all about we're here for business. This is not a scrapbook Instagram account. We are here to connect with people in business. So when you are doing your Instagram stories, a couple of principles to think about is, would my audience enjoy seeing this? And does this help elevate, prove, show that I walk the talk, that I am that person that loves color? Gotta love Lily Pulitzer. uh, bright hats, neon. And also that I thrive on being with people in person. As I said, one of my clients is here with me in the chair right next to me, getting coached. She's someone that I met when I spoke at a dentist conference. Why do I say that? It's because every time you put yourself in a new environment, there are new people and new opportunities. And so when you listen intently, when you talk to someone and you listen, and your eyes aren't wandering over their shoulder to find the next person at the conference, but your eyes are really engaged in listening to them, there's opportunities. There's beautiful opportunities. And with Michelle, she needed a leadership coach. She needed to step into her business a little bit more. And we talked about how I could support her in doing that. And because her office is in San Diego, we just did a session in person and it was fabulous. Now, why am I telling you this? Okay, so now that is the clip that you see, but you'll notice the blue arrow is pointing to avatars, photos of people that are watching that clip. And if I tap into that particular clip, you'll see that 60 people at the time that I took this screenshot have seen this story. Each one of these people are warmer leads. They're watching my stories. They're interested in what I'm sharing, especially the ones that are giving it a heart. Remember, I told you you can heart up an Instagram story? Well, these first 7 people are loving what they're seeing here. And so these are my warmest leads. It just so happens that I know all of them. 2 of them are clients, and a few of them are in my Ready, Set, Grow community. But the ones that I don't know, I would get really curious about. I would tap this talk bubble right here, because when I do, I can leave them a message back and it goes right to the Instagram direct message. Okay. Now, the photo on the right that I'm sharing with you, a couple things I want to bring to your attention.
Karen Zimmerman, FaceTime video.
One is that they have captions on them. And the other is a link, a live link. One of the features I'm going to be talking with you about Instagram stories is the live link. And when you put a live link on Instagram, it does take people to what it is you're doing. So yesterday I had a live masterclass all about making more money. It was a $100 masterclass, very well attended, but I wouldn't have got the attendance if I didn't share it in my Instagram stories. And so stories are a great place to sell if you're serving, if you're giving context to what you're selling. You just don't put a link for someone to buy. You need to let them know what's in it for them. I want everyone to write down what's in it for them. What is in it for your audience if you share what you're sharing? So I told people in this video what this was about and what the value would be for them if they learned the 7 ways to make more money using Instagram and their phone. Not a funnel, not an opt-in, not an email list, just Instagram and their phone. And because I did this in my stories, I got a lot of signups, and it was very, very successful. So you don't get unless you show and share, right? I'm just going to take a pause to see, does anyone have questions at this point? I know I talked about a lot.
One question was not related to what you just covered. It was about highlights. Somebody said that they learned that highlights are chronological from past to recent. So it has to be evergreen. That makes it hard to put most recent information there that people can access.
Yeah, I have a hack for that, and I'll share that when I get to the highlights. You can absolutely bring a highlight that's far on the right back to the front. I even have a YouTube video that I can share. I can grab that link. In fact, I'm going to quickly stop sharing, and I have the link. I just want to put my presentation in presenter mode because I think I can grab the link for you if I do that. But I love that question. And I actually got a YouTube video that supports that, which is so funny. You guys are thinking about all the great opportunities that Instagram has. So just hold on to that thought. I'll make sure I show it to you. I'll show you how to do it, and I also have a YouTube video for that. Okay. So well, let's go forward. Here we are. So the value of spending time in stories is that it is real time. This is your true authentic self, especially if you're on video. There's minimal production, but if you are doing videos on Instagram, you want to make sure that you're always in good lighting. We need to see you. We need to feel you. We need to see you. And the best practice is to put your phone in front of a window up to the sky, even if it's a cloudy day, or even in front of your lamp. If you're like, oh man, Sue, it's so dark where I am, just turn on your lamp and put your phone in front of it and do a story from there. When you do stories, it does keep you top of mind with your audience. And I do want to also say that it's good to pause stories, to let all your stories expire after 24 hours and just wait a day to start them again and give your audience a little break. When you start it again, they'll see that rainbow circle and they'll be curious. And this is where intimate connections absolutely happen. When people can see what you're wearing, when they see the backdrop of your life. A lot of people, I travel a lot, and a lot of people live vicariously through my travel. And they ask questions about the seals that are here in La Jolla, or the birds, or the path that I'm on. And it just opens up conversation. And that is the goal. Now, how do we create a story? To create a story, you would upload it from your camera roll and you can film directly into stories. And then you can add text on top of those stories. And I will be giving you a phone demonstration at the end of this. Okay. Here's my YouTube video that I will put in chat. So this is how to create Instagram stories. And I also have a hack with it. So let me just put this in chat for you guys. I think it's going to be a really good, let me just do it this way. This is a great, I recommend that everyone grab that link, and I'm going to actually give it context. I always teach this. If you're going to share anything, give it context. So for those of you that are here, I want to just put Instagram stories hack, and now I'll put the link. Just make sure that you copy and paste it. You can literally copy and paste this from a Zoom. And that will definitely help you understand. And it will bring you over to my YouTube channel, which has hundreds and hundreds of videos on how to use Instagram. There are buttons in stories. When I say buttons, there's all different ways that you can use these buttons. You can use the create feature, the boomerang feature, there's a layout feature, there's AI, and you can do all this hands-free, which a lot of people don't even know that there's a hands-free feature in stories. I'm going to show you guys this. Now, we talked about highlights. So highlights can only be saved if they were a story. You can actually go back and find highlights that were archived, and you can bring them in to your current highlights if you want. And you have unlimited highlights, and you can categorize those any way that you want. There's only 13 characters in the title of a highlight, so you want to use the characters wisely. If you use lowercase instead of uppercase, you do get a little bit more opportunity. For some reason, it counts those characters. You get more characters. You can also use emojis. Like you can see my highlights. I have my favorite emoji. I have my mobility with strength there. When the latest clip is uploaded to a highlight, that highlight actually moves to the front. So to the person that said, I want to move something to the front, the hack is you can put any story in the highlight that you want to move to the front, and then you can go back and delete it out of the highlight once it's moved to the front. So the highlights do play from oldest clip to newest clip. I like having my clients in the front. I like people knowing a little bit about me. I do have a intermittent fasting and wellness direct message group. So I do a lot of mobility moves. I have a degree in nutrition, so really big into health and wellness. I have my speaking highlight, my mastermind highlights. I want people to see in my highlights what they see in my feed. And remember, these are like tabs on your website. So the benefits of the highlights, it's that it extends the life of your story, right? It enhances the branding on your profile. It means that you're really, your Instagram, you've got these tabs, these opportunities. Each one provides potential new followers with more content, and each highlight does have its own unique URL that you could share to somebody asking you, okay, I want to coach with you, but I really want to talk to your clients. I'm like, well, I don't let you talk to my clients. My clients are busy doing the work that they need to do. But if you want to see my clients and see some testimonials, I can send you my highlight link. It's and you can watch and listen and hear what they have to say. So it really does allow you to categorize that important content, and it does build credibility. Okay, so the benefits or highlights are really important. You can have a highlight cover. So you can have graphics, you can use free clip art for those covers, or you can use photos, whatever works for you. Now, the easiest way to start with highlights is to focus on your most strategic topic areas. Remember last week I talked about highlights being tabs on your website. So these might be frequently asked questions, FAQs, right, that you get from your customers, or your business origin story. Everyone loves to know how your business got started. And what do people need to know to understand and trust you about what you do in your business? So, my example is I do paid masterminds on Cape Cod and in La Jolla. And anyone that's interested in investing and attending one of my masterminds, I want to send them a link so they can see what it feels like from the people that came. It is so much easier to make money from other people that talk about you and your business than for you to be talking about yourself, right? So, um, oops, here we go. So let's dive into some ideas. You guys can take a screenshot here. There's a lot of opportunities for you to be brainstorming, frequently asked questions. Maybe you've had some great press. Press is not the thing to share in your feed. Press is the thing to talk about in your stories and share in a highlight. Maybe you have some freebies, PDFs, downloads, lead magnets. You talk about them in your stories, you keep them in your highlights. Anyone that has a team, if you're a real estate company with a team, highlight your team members. If you have a product that can share how you do what you do, talk about that in detail. Behind the scenes are huge. People love to see, if you're a podcaster, what it looks like, what equipment you use. Maybe there's a hire me tab if you're looking to hire somebody and you have criteria. So there's a lot of opportunities here. I love having testimonials in highlights. I think it's really important. And also, if anyone is like, whoa, Sue, I really need to get my highlight game on, I got you. Here is a highlight YouTube video that I'm going to just pop in the chat so you guys can all grab that one as well. I have a friend of mine taking behind the scenes right now, which is pretty sweet.
Hey, Sue, when you said put those in the chat, you're putting it into the host and panelists. You need to send it to
Ooh.
everyone.
Oh, sorry, guys. Hold tight. Thank you, Jim. I'm going to grab those links.
So it's the earlier link and this one.
Yep, I got the highlight one right there. Thank you. And I'm going to grab, thank you. I appreciate that, you guys. The Instagram story link, I'm going to grab too. I just shared to everyone. Okay. So we're going to go back into the presentation. And this is how you customize your Instagram highlights. Even though I did this video a long time ago from my apartment in Boston when I lived downtown Boston, it's still relevant. Like, this YouTube video has done amazing. It's a little over 4 minutes. Totally worth watching. Okay. Consider auditing your highlights regularly for information that is either expired or it's no longer accurate. Guys, Instagram changes all the time. What I used to teach 12 years ago, a lot of that is not relevant today. So you want to make sure that it's relevant. And because highlights are populated in the order, yes, that they were posted, and play from the oldest clip to the newest clip, highlights can end up getting too long or outdated. So go in there and delete anything that is no longer relevant or relatable, or even delete the whole highlight. I do that frequently. Now, remember what I said. If you want to bring a highlight at the end to the beginning, just put a story into that highlight. It moves to the front. You can go into that highlight, you can edit it, and you can delete it out. I want you to remember, like any neighborhood we've talked about, everything has to be intentional. Everything has to be, you're doing this for a reason to grow your audience and your community. This is not just to create content, create noise, and check it off your to-do list. If you aren't feeling it, if your energy isn't in the game of doing it strategically, take a pause and don't do it just for the sake of doing it. When you are posting, remember we shared this when we were talking about posting with purpose, your authority, the business that you have, what makes you unique and different from everyone else that does what you do as the expert in your industry. So here are some examples of that. So on the far left, you'll see what makes me an authority. I've spoken on many stages with some really cool people. Even though that was from 2018, I'm there with one of the sharks from Shark Tank. Pretty cool. He wasn't really warm and fuzzy, to be honest, but I got a photo nevertheless. And then I was speaking at a conference in the middle, and on the right, I'm sharing just a little kind of testimonial on top of the photo, which, was from a dentistry conference I spoke at. So when other people have said something and you can take a screenshot, you can layer that on top of your story. Very easy to do. Really great way to share testimonials or just share other people that are interested in what you're doing. And then finally, on the far right, this slid into my DM. This woman said, I was at your women's dentistry lecture this morning, and what resonated with me the most was how you said, think what I can give rather than what I can get. Yeah. And I'm like, hallelujah, with my, nice little graphic below that. And that is really important for every business owner. So that is something to always, always keep in mind. So that's the authority. Relatability, obviously, you want to be relatable to your followers. They will feel seen and heard from your posts. It doesn't always have to involve anything too personal, but just bring up, share something that someone could relate to. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with your business, but related to you, your personality, your core values, and tied into your business in some way. Sometimes graphic quotes are great for this. So these are my relatable photos. I don't know, you guys. Cold plunging is a thing. I have to tell you, full disclosure, I was not. I never thought I could love it as much as I do, and I'm on day 12 doing it in a row at a beautiful place up the street where I'll be going after this training. And the water's 47 degrees, and I stay in the tub for 5 minutes, and people are interested. It's conversational. I take my coastal walks every morning. It's gorgeous. People love the scenery here, overlooking the Pacific Ocean in beautiful La Jolla, California. And then I work out regularly. So I've got this really cool workout situation going on over at SmartFit. And so these are 3 things about me that are non-negotiable for every day. People like to know that you don't just have a business, you have a life. We're all about work-life balance, right? That's what we strive for. We also want to create content that could be shareable. And not everything you share has to have that in mind, but it could be something that's helpful for people. You don't want this to be overly branded so that it can get shared, meaning you don't want to have your face on it. The point is that a follower would say, oh my God, I love that quote. I want to share it with my audience. And these types of posts can mostly they're graphics, mostly they're inspirational. And people just love to get a little dose of inspo. Now, here's an example. So this quote is a great quote. Right before you elevate to your next level, there's always a moment where everything that no longer aligns starts to crumble. if things are falling apart. Trust that it's making space for more light to enter. Let it happen. So I tagged, you can tag up to 20 accounts in an Instagram story, and you'll see the tags on the bottom right. The really cool hack is that you can swipe them off of the graphic. They will still get a notification that they were tagged, and then they will share it to their audience. And when they share it to their audience from your story, it gives you more of an opportunity to be seen from a completely different audience, which is really awesome. Now we're moving into the stickers. I love stickers, guys. I used to teach scrapbooking on QVC back in the day. I had a business called Treasure It, and I love stickers. So when Instagram added stickers, I got really excited. Instagram makes it super easy to use these stickers: the question sticker, the poll sticker, the slider sticker, the countdown sticker. And I'm gonna share these. These are the ones that I'm talking about that are opportunistic for engagement from a warm audience in your Instagram stories. Here's 2 examples. When you share a poll, you get feedback, and you can see everyone that has taken that feedback. So I had a little rebranding done. I redid my bio, asked people what they thought, and they loved it. They effing loved it, right? And then on the right, I shared books that I've read or am reading. We do a book swap at my mastermind. These were all the books that were there. And then I ask people, which ones have you read? And then I have people answering. And you might say, well, so what? Well, that's an opening to a conversation. You can say, what did you think of this book? What were your takeaways from the book? Oh my God, I love that too. And you just start talking. The goal is to have conversations. That leads to opportunities, right? Oops. I did not mean to X out of that. And opportunities lead to conversions, right? What happened there? Give me a sec. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? Are you guys feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling like, oh my goodness, I need to get my Instagram game going? How's everyone feeling?
While you're doing that, why don't I pop a few questions that have come in?
Yeah.
Can you change the order in which your highlight category folders are listed from left to right?
They're not folders, they're highlights. And yes, you can.
Okay. How do you swipe them off the graphic?
You just take your finger and swipe it off.
Audrey says she's feeling great.
Yay. Okay, made my day. Okay, this is what you learned today, you guys. Why this neighborhood is so valuable, how to post an Instagram story with intention and focus. And you learned what a highlight is and how to create one using them strategically. And then we talked about these engagement stickers that some of you probably haven't used and should. And I will be going into my phone. I'm just getting it all set up to show some more examples, because I know that when you share from the phone on a training, it just makes it easier to understand. And that's what I got for you guys. I do want to invite anyone who's interested to come over to my account, say hello, let me know you are on this training at Subi Zimmerman. Oops, I didn't mean, I meant to take off sell more workshop and bio. My bio on Instagram now takes you guys to a 15-minute call with me. And last time you guys filled my calendar last week, which was great. I want to invite you all to, you might have a question specifically for your business that needs my eyes on it, whether it's a strategy for stories or your bio or something. I'm here for you. I invite you to just tap into this link. It's a free 15-minute call. Strategy is everything. If you don't have a strategy, you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and that's no bueno. So
There's a couple more questions that came in, Sue.
yeah,
What's the
go ahead, let's
balance
do it.
between posting about yourself versus offering value?
Well, you can post about yourself and still add value. So value is an exchange. Value is when someone leaves your Instagram account and says, oh my goodness, I am so glad I read that carousel post, looked at those testimonials, and took action. Like if you help someone move the needle in their business in some creative way, you've either educated them, you inform them of something they didn't know. For example, ginger, when you put it in the freezer, it is so much easier to grate than when it's mushy. I learned that on Instagram. Like value comes in all different ways, right? Um, I hope that answers your question. It and also value is an exchange of money. So if you're not giving value, it's really hard to make money.
Even though Instagram Reels disappear in 24 hours, some things are so inspirational. Is there a way to keep or record a reel?
Reels don't disappear in 24 hours. Stories do. And yes, you can keep your stories. Um, you can keep your stories. I'm going to go into my current stories right now. One is just that emotional feeling at 7 p.m. with my dog on my body. So that's kind of like a sweet little story clip. And then this one is the behind the scenes. And I can tap on highlight, and I can add this to my speaking reel.
Jing.
Okay.
The other is getting together with people in person.
So I just added that to my speaking, and look at my highlights. The speaking is in front. That's what I told you guys about. Now, if I go into that particular highlight and I tap on the 3 dots on the bottom right and I want to edit the highlight, I can go into my highlight, uncheck any that have a blue box, a blue circle, and those will be removed from my highlight. You can also edit the name of your highlight, and you can edit the cover of your highlight. All this can be done there. In my signature program, Ready, Set, Grow, I go over all this in great detail, but I want to make sure that you see it here on this training as well. Any follow-up questions from this?
No, somebody asked if you could show engagement stickers again.
Sure. Let's do that. All right, you guys. I'm gonna have the 2 of you come next to me. All right, I'm gonna do a photo with my friends right here. It's gonna be great. Hold tight. Come on the other side.
Get me off the yoga mat.
Off the yoga mat. Okay, smile. Okay. Now, one of my little ninja tips is to take your finger and slide left to the Paris filter to the ladies in the house. It softens your face and brightens your face. It's a beautiful thing. So, we're gonna go. I'm gonna actually save this so I have it without anything on it. You can save to your camera roll when you take a photo in stories. The sticker icon is right at the top, right here. It looks like a sticker. And this is where all of the engagement stickers are. So I am going to use the slider because it's one of my favorite ones. And I'm going to share something really cool with you guys. I don't know if Kelly knows this, my client over here. So there's all these emojis on the slider and it defaults to this one. But if you take your finger and slide it all the way to the end, you can search anything. So say that you teach golf. Oops. Say that you teach golf. You could use the golf slider and say something about golf. So you can customize the slider. I'm going to keep it with the warm, fuzzy feels of this photo and say, do you like being with your clients in person more than online? And then this could be the slider. Okay. Now, what I want all you to do, I'm going to actually, oh, watch. I'm going to tag Kelly so that you guys can say hi to her. Can you give me your account? Yeah. We're going to tag. You guys, we're doing this in person. This is exciting. Here.
Can I type it in?
Yeah, type it in. So, and you guys can come over and say hi to my friends that are here. You know, the more people you know, the more you grow, the more you learn. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I am not yet following her, but I obviously will
There
be.
you are.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put hers here and Kelly's over here. And that way, and actually I'm going to make it stand out and put a little text box behind them by tapping the A. And there we go. So I'm going to share this. Now, you all on this training, I'd love for you to tap through this story, take your finger and slide it to where you want it to go. That is an engagement sticker. And you will see, it's uploading right now, but
Two things.
you will see when you guys answer that, I will see all you. So let's do this together. This is a action taker training. I love that you guys are here. We have about 10 more minutes together. So take action on this and slide it. And if you get curious about two amazing women who are in the health and wellness space, go say hi to Kelly and Kristen. Okay. Yeah, you never know. You guys meeting strangers virtually. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. While you're doing that, are there other questions, Jim?
How do you hide the tags from your post?
Oh, yeah. I didn't do that. Sorry. Okay. So now I'm going to go into this photo. And by the way, if you have a photo that does not fit the screen, you take your fingers and you make it bigger. This is what's organic to stories, not this. So you want to make it bigger. So if I were to tag these people, like Mo is here, Morgan's here, and I could go on and tap done. I'm taking my finger and I'm sliding this, not in the trash. There is a trash. I'm sliding it off to the side. And then if I tapped, and because this is like, I thrive on in-person connections. So that is my like superpower. And I'm just putting this here and adding it to my story, and Mo and Morgan will get a notification. That's how you swipe it off the story. What other questions do we have?
Just how much more engagement does audio with a picture add compared to just a picture?
Well, you don't usually do audio on a picture. You do audio on a video. Audio could be music. So I'll show you an example of music. Hold on. Yeah, here. So you can use audio with music. This is in New Zealand at a place called the Linns. Amazing. Yeah. So you can add music. You can add music. The other thing I want to bring to everyone's attention about stories, and we're just touching it, you guys, but stories, let me just do this. I'm going to do this to just, there are GIFs in stories, and you can create your own GIFs, which is one of my favorite things. You can do cutouts. So if I wanted to do a cutout of the three of us, we could use this sticker and put it right here. This is next level, you guys. Dancing hearts, thank you. I appreciate that. These are all stickers that I've created, and I can use these in my stories, which I love. One of my favorite stickers. So once you've created a sticker, you can see that, you guys, I told you I was a scrapbooker. I just love how creative you can get. This is one of my favorite ones and you can throw things in the trash that you don't want to use, but there's so much that you can do in stories. And I did mention this to you guys. So let me start over here from the beginning. So these are the things I mentioned in the presentation: create, boomerang, legend, and this is AI. This little arrow right here, you want to tap it. This is where you get hands-free. So if you tap hands-free and then you start talking, you'll see the red ring in your stories go. You have a minute to say something. And so you can be hands-free. And if you've already said what you need to say, you can reach and tap and stop it, or you can wait for the whole circle to complete. So that's the hands-free feature. The other one is the boomerang. So I'm sure a lot of you know what a boomerang is. Like, this is fun, right? You can just do a little GIF. I'm going to save that because I like it. The legend is a really great feature. I mean, the layout is a really great feature if you want to put more than one photo. There's a different grid that you can tap where there's 6 different opportunities to do either a side by side. You can have it before. You just take your finger, you tap the space, you lift up, you find what you want, and you can share some really great, like kind of like a scrapbook of 4 different things in one clip. Why is this important? Because people don't want to tap through your stories if you're showing your vacation or what you're eating. You can put it all in one clip. So Legend is a great feature to use. I showed you Boomerang. Now Create is really fun. It's a place if you take your finger and swipe, there's different things that you can do. What you can search for gifts. Like I'm going to search the word dance, and you can find different gifts to use. There's a time. That was from 7 years ago. All I have to say about Instagram stories is it is the most creative place that you can share content, and it's for beginners and it's for intermediates like myself that just love thinking about all the creative details to make my stories stand out from someone else. And if you guys want to get a little bit of a feel of what some of my stories look like, I invite you to tap through my highlights where you can see just energy and, you know, just a lot of the creativity is here. So you can stack testimonials and stories, which is great. We talked about testimonials today. It is just endless what you can do. Any other questions coming in?
There are several technical questions about naming your Instagram account and what do you do if you have trolls and
Naming,
bad-
if you need help naming, you should book a 15-minute call with me. Everybody gets trolls. What you want to do with trolls is block and delete. So, if you are, okay, top right-hand corner, you can hide or report any post to get rid of it. So 3 dots on the top right, not interested, report. If you tap report, you would have to say why, and you can get rid of it. If you're getting these trolls in the DM and you don't thank you, and you don't want this account, and this is not true, but you can block accounts when you go to, when you in order to block an account, you need to tap the 3 dots on their account and block them. So I block any and all trolls so they never show up on my account again. And the more you do that, the better it is. There's also, we're going to talk about DMs later, so I don't want to do that now. But what other questions?
does posting stories affect algorithms and help make content more visible?
Yes. So every neighborhood on Instagram, if you use all the features on Instagram, you do get rewarded because it's another data point. It's showing activity, and that's how social platforms work. The more active you are on Instagram, the more you get rewarded to get more reach, more exposure, and opportunities.
I have a beautiful comment that Insta has hidden because it may not be appropriate, but it isn't inappropriate. How do I unhide this?
I don't know. It sounds like you need to get in touch with Instagram. If you can see it, I would take a screenshot of it and share it in my stories and talk about it. While we're coming to the end of this, just like I did for the last 2 sessions, can you all let me know in the chat what you're walking away with today, what you learned, what you're most excited about? I'm so glad I attended Subi's training because I learned this, or I'm going to try that. I'll feature you on the next week's, and it's really good for me to understand what you guys are walking away with while you're learning, because my brain can teach Instagram all day and I don't want to overwhelm you. Lisa, Yeah, you can't find the photo. So anyone that's having a personal struggle with any aspect of Instagram, please reach out to me. I invite you to reach out to me and grab a 15-minute call. Amazing things can happen in 15 minutes. I talk fast. I teach fast. Jan said, I love, love, love the possibilities. Thanks a lot. Awesome. Beck said, I have beautiful. Okay. Who else besides Lisa has something to say about what they learned and what is it? I'm hoping that you're walking away with inspiration to do Instagram stories more strategically. That's my goal. And no question is a basic question, by the way.
Two quick point to anonymous attendee. I would encourage you with a lot of these specific questions to go ahead and reach out to Sue and book a 15-minute free time.
Bex, I'm so glad. Yeah, the hands free is a game changer because it's like hidden. You got to tap the arrow to find that hands free. I talk with my hands, so I have a pop socket on my phone, which I love, so I can pull it out. I can put it on my computer. I'll show you guys real quick. This I got on Amazon. Amazon, it's in my Amazon shop. I have an iPhone, and it's the magnetic kind that just goes right on there. But I will tell you that let me go into stories to show right here that tapping the arrow, hands free. So now I can tap there and I can talk to you guys and I can move back. Whoa.
Careful back there.
I can move back to here and I can talk with my hands and it feels a little bit more, I think, conversational when you can talk with your hands if you're a hand talker like I am. And that makes it kind of nice. It doesn't, you're not like reaching for your phone, right? Now notice how this circle is moving to 6 o'clock. That's 30 seconds of this story. Now, let me show you one thing. If you're doing stories, the most important thing is to add captions. Let me show you where they are.
And I can talk to you guys and I can move back.
Captions are right here. To here, and I can talk with my hands, and it feels a little bit more, I think, conversational when you can talk with your hands if you're a hand talker like I am. So you always want to add captions. There's the caption sticker in the captions. You have to wait for it to transcribe. There's different type styles. You can put a block behind the text so it pops. If you're doing stories on videos, it is a non-negotiable to add captions or to summarize what you're saying. No, most people are in a public place and don't have the volume on. And I want to make sure you guys leave with hearing that today. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to read some more comments here. Yes, Harley, Harlan, I don't know if I said your name right. I love what you wrote. That's so great. The potential of how we can help others is more than I expected. Learning highlights in stories, also using stickers. Can we do the video on iPhone, not on IG, and then upload? Yes, but I want to get you guys used to doing everything in IG because it's so much easier when you use the features on Instagram. Colleen, I just love your enthusiasm, and I'm so glad that you and I spoke on a 15-minute call. Judy said, I'm going to practice keeping inspirational stories and hand-free feature. Yay! That makes it so easy. Sandra said, I feel more comfortable doing stories after this workshop. I didn't realize that there were so many ways to customize them within the app. Yes, that's what I was hoping that you would learn. I'm so glad, Michelle, that it's helpful. Thank you guys for all the comments. It really does. Even though I don't see you and feel you, I definitely feel this energy, and that's so helpful. Anything else coming up for you guys? Now, next session, we have 2 left, is going to be all about Reels. And then we're going to do Instagram Lives. So we got a lot
Instagram Live
more.
is next week, Sue.
Oh, Instagram Lives Instagram, Jim, thanks for keeping me straight. Instagram Lives are next week, and then we're going to do Reels.
Right. Oh, well, this was awesome again, Sue. Thanks very much for everything. Go
You're so
enjoy the
welcome.
cold dip, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Carla, thanks for that statement right there. I really appreciate it. All right, you guys have a great day and come over to Instagram and say hello and use the slider so I know that you took action. And I'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye.